unusual trip. It's not starting out like we normally do because Nate had to go find us a camping spot. So I have a chauffeur today. Brittany's driving us in the pickup. She's got the kids back here. Notice one's already sleeping, 30 minutes in. Then we've got the shy one. She's hiding behind her stuffy. And then back behind her is the general. It's gonna be an awesome trip. So Nate found us a good camping spot. We've had to do one detour already because of a car wreck.
Yep.
And we're headed into Shoshone. Things are looking good. In fact, we're going a different direction than everybody else.
Yeah. We're gonna go our own route.
We're taking the shortcut.
Taking the shortcut.
The long way. Okay.
Make sure I have our stuffy.
You're hiding behind your stuffy? Okay. But this is a narrow road. I can see why they didn't bring the camper up here.
Yeah. I don't blame them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I mean, it would fit. But
Yeah. I think the hard part would be passing people.
yeah. Oh, for sure.
Wow. This was not what I was expecting at all.
I see something.
You see something?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out we weren't quite ready today. Brittany's machine broke down. It's just not running. It kept dying. Possibly fuel pump issue. And then as the last time it died, we came across a couple of mountain bike riders, and they said that their friend had just crashed up the road. So we went up the road to go help out, and they're gonna have to bring in life flight, it sounds like. So we're going back to tow Brittany back to the camp and then see what we can do to help. So maybe not much of a ride today, but
Still an adventure.
yeah, and just glad that we came across what we did, because the guy is definitely in a lot of pain. So hopefully they can.
You can see his hip that's sticking out. It ain't worth risking moving him, that's for sure.
Yeah, his friends wanted us to load him up and bring him out of here, but we thought it would be better to do life flight, and that's what he wanted. So we are attempting to get life flight right now. Clay's using his, it's not an inReach, I can't remember what you call it.
SOS, I think it is, or something like that.
Okay, he has a different type of device, and he's been in contact with them, and so anyway, we're gonna show you. I didn't want to show you any of that just for privacy. He doesn't need that. He's in enough pain. And what we're gonna do though is head back, and we'll show you some of our adventure with trying to get Brittany back in that. Okay. Anything else, Nate?
Nope, I think we're good.
Okay. Oh, there's Brittany. She's giving you a thumbs down. It's a bummer. We're gonna go hook up and tow him back. She's sucking this. Here we are getting
I'm
hooked up.
gonna go with the Can-Am.
At least they're finding stuff to do in the meantime. Nice shaded area. We're not in the middle of the desert.
Well, we were in the sun and we put it in neutral and shoved it back into the shade.
Oh, good idea. The rear view or the backup camera, so he can kind of see right there. Yeah, he can watch what's happening behind us too.
Yeah, that's kind of an unknown. Didn't realize that's pretty handy right now.
Yeah, definitely. Nate was just saying that Brittany's been being a really good towing. He trained her well. She's just back there keeping enough distance and enough tension on it. She's doing a good job. She just gets that kind of stuff. We used to have her back the boat up in between trees and stuff. Yep, she does a good job. Yep. Nicely done. Made it back. Getting unhooked here. Nice job, Britt.
Thanks. I try.
Yeah.
I've had too much experience doing that.
Then I caught it.
Did you have fun getting towed? Yeah. Was it almost like a ride?
He almost fell asleep.
A what?
No.
Well, this is Jeremy. He's having a rough day. We already talked a little bit about what happened, but we didn't know the full story. Do you want to tell us the story?
Oh man, well, we were just pre-riding the course for Rebecca's Private Idaho, and we were coming down this descent, and I just ended up in the bad line and crashed, and Jeremy's right on my wheel, and I crashed nice right in front of him, and he went over his bars and landed on his bad titanium hip and probably is broken.
Yeah. So we're waiting on life flight. Hopefully. Search and rescue's coming, but he needs life flight. So just a waiting game. Trying to do what we can for him. Jeremy's a trooper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wish there was more we could do to help. But
Always wish there's more you can do.
yeah.
But the cool thing about it is that wherever you're at, there's always somebody to help.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of getting people out here. You know, but even though it's been, what, 2 hours and 15 minutes since we pressed the SOS button, you know, they're coming from the directions they're coming from and mobilizing people, all that kind of stuff. For those of us that aren't laying on the ground with a broken hip, it's been a decent, okay amount of time, you know, but it seemed like an eternity for Jeremy.
Yeah. So what is it that you phoned out on?
So I carry a Zoleo with me, and it's just one of many different communication devices. You can communicate with you through text with family and friends. It also has the SOS button, and you press the SOS button, and within 5 seconds, it'll identify that an SOS has been set. So it gives you 5 seconds to cancel, not in case it was an accidental hit. And then within a minute, minute and a half, I was on via text through the Zoleo with the 911 dispatchers. And they asked for all the information, age, name, color of clothing, all that kind of stuff, you know, so they can identify in case we happen to go back and get lunch or something. No, we wouldn't do that. but then they just started dispatching people, mobilizing people.
All right. And they keep giving you updates.
Yeah, they keep giving us update. The last update I got was about 12 minutes ago, and they asked if the search and rescue was on site. So we know they're close. And that's when Nate and Jennifer went down in the side-by-side to try to meet them down the road and guide them in more direct to us. We're in a remote area, but not so remote area, if they know the area, which I'm sure they do. But our hope right now is they have good drugs on board with them.
And something for Jeremy.
And something for Jeremy, yes, that's true. And something for Jeremy.
Bringing in the helicopter now, and Jeremy said go ahead and record. He'd like to have it on video, so we're going to go ahead and record some of the events here. At least it's a big red blanket, they can see that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I said when we came back, that it was...
there it is. They're probably looking for the best place to land it.
Yeah, that could be it. Well, hopefully they circle.
How long you been on search and rescue?
We all, every one of us are, we're not certified EMTs, but we go on most calls, fire department and search and rescue. So
Everything. Oh my gosh, that's
5
awesome,
years.
guys. That's crazy.
Lincoln is a career firefighter. He moved back home after Burley. So
Wow.
it's
Looks like they see us now, though.
doing? Name's Jared. Flight paramedic. Pain on the event? Anywhere else? Do you hit your head anywhere? Nothing bad? Okay. Well, I got a pelvic splint that'll help out. So I don't have any pain meds, right? But we got a litter that we'll be able to get in here and get you on. But it'll end up having to have you go on your back, okay? How's that feel? Okay. Do you still have feeling in your toes? Feel that? Which foot am I touching? Right. Okay. Foot am I touching? Okay. So what ended up happening? Okay. How long ago? Almost 4 hours now. 4 hours. He's had previous injuries and repairs done on this hip thing. Okay. I can, yeah. That's where they're staging. They said they were coming over to trail check. You want to have this? Ambulance meet us over at some alley at the airport? Yeah. You guys can't take it to the AC. Well, we'll take them to Sun Valley. Okay. So that they can give them ALS and pain meds. We don't. Yeah, we don't carry pain meds. Okay.
Do you want us to pull forward?
Oh, you're okay right now, I think. Some guys on log roll. like, your muscles are so tight, it's pulling everything together.
Let's get him set.
You want a blanket?
Yeah, let's get him set and then
I also have that red one. We can use the red one.
you need some
She wants
leather.
the-
He's got his knee down on it. Hold on. Let's
Nate,
move
red
this out.
blanket.
Let's get a couple people on that one. Is that? Slide it out. Okay. Get the straps out from underneath.
Got the black one.
You want
the arm free on these?
Get the blanket cable out. Right. Holding this arm up for me.
Oh, don't be sorry.
Don't be this over here for.
You want that? Sorry.
You want something under his head?
The red blanket. I have this one too.
We have. Yeah, you can.
Hey, how you want a team carry this?
All right.
You on the side of his head?
Yeah, so we'll go one on either side. Let me grab my bag and my helmet.
They can give them pain meds, and they can get air loose and take them out from there.
The doctor's on call because it's something out. They might be able to keep him on here. Tell them about that. So we'll end up on head first. Alright, head, and lift.
I felt that was intentional.
Getting the bike down. His friend's gonna take his bike back for him. That's been a handy rack to have. By the way, Jeremy that just went in the helicopter has records for his riding. Just out of reach.
There we go, got it. That's Nate's.
Okay. You're just making sure it didn't get left on the
Yeah, I didn't want to get left on the tire. Get back to camp.
Oh, I threw everything against the door. I set you up.
It's okay. Parking lot. Alex and Rachel, they just loaded up Jeremy's bike, and now they're heading over to meet him in Sun Valley or Boise, wherever they have taken him to. But we just got down here and we got talking, and there was one more element to this thing that is pretty interesting, to say the least. Depends on how you want to look at it. You know, we left camp to go for a ride, go up Cane Creek and see if we can head to Planet Lake. And I hadn't turned on my Onyx off-road map yet. And I was in the back, bringing up the back, and Nate turned off, and I almost radioed up, Nate, we need to go up one more, let's not turn off here. And I did, and I thought, you know, what the heck, we're going for a ride, what does it matter where we turn off, right? We had a gate, oh well. Had that decision not been made, that turn off would have not happened, he could still be laying there. Right. We were there for 4.5, 5 hours?
Yes.
5 hours.
Almost 5
and
hours.
Nobody came through.
Right.
And so
Oh yeah, you're right.
Nobody came through.
Nobody came through when you guys were there all that time?
The whole time. And so the fact that you made the decision to turn off there,
Well,
turn this whole thing around.
the other thing Brittany was talking about is that if she hadn't had problems with her machine, that we might have been further ahead.
Yep.
We might have been ahead of that wreck and not been any help either.
Yep.
So I think a lot of things just happened the way they were supposed to.
I
didn't think of that, because we would have already been off that trail, and we would have been going up by the time they turned and hit that, because it only took them a couple minutes to get where they're at.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't take us any time to get from where we were at through.
Yeah. It's
Just
amazing how all these little things have come
Yeah.
into play. You know, people can read into it how they want to. I know how I read into it.
Well, and
You
having
know,
all the
it's
gear
just-
that we pack, you know, sometimes we feel we pack too much, but I mean, we use safety blankets.
Yep.
You know, we had blankets, just regular blankets, just spares.
Yep.
Jackets, all those things. We use stuff that you
Food,
would never
water,
use in this type
just-
of weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're almost out of water in the
Yeah.
time we were there, and we carry a lot of extra water. We burned through almost all of it between everybody and whatever, which is great. It just,
Yep.
you just can't be overly prepared.
You
The
can't be
straps.
prepared.
We used a lot of straps.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
they're just a lot of things that we used the rack. It came in handy again.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Overall, it was hard to see him lay there on the ground that long.
That was
and
tough.
watch his conditions change and whatnot. But I'd like to follow through and see it through and
Right.
and make sure he's doing okay. But he's when that Black Hawk landed, he had a little bit of hope in him again.
it
Yeah.
did. His confidence went way up, because his confidence, you could see it diminishing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was tired of
Well,
laying there.
He was
Tired of
hurting.
being
He was yeah.
So a little bit of a backstory there. The two of they're all rescue, the Mackay rescue team.
Okay.
There goes, oh, okay. They're all volunteer rescue. Two of them were in Idaho Falls when they got the call. Two of them were out farming and one of them was out hunting. So they all had to gather and then come here.
Wow.
And they said that the ping had told them to go somewhere else, that they had 3 different pings. They went 3 different places. They still didn't find us. And they said, if you ever need rescue, be sure that you have something that's very noticeable, like something bright. They used our red blanket to get the helicopter's attention. We had Cody went over there in a motorcycle. That's what finally helped them get to us. But they said anything you can do to help the rescuers is very much appreciated, because it doesn't tell them right where you are, even though you think it will.
Yeah, and that's amazing that happens, because they said that coordinates that we shot out to them said it was on top of that mountain. You know, wow. But it takes an army. It's,
Yeah.
You know, there's amazing things happen.
Yeah, I guess you don't just trust that they're going to be right at that point. You know, like coming down here to the road, intersections, stuff like that. Just whatever you can do to help guide them into where you're at. If you got the people to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a good thing Cody was out there, because I guess they followed him in. They seen, yeah, that's.
Yeah, they saw Cody and followed him in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, hopefully by now he's got some pretty good painkillers in
Right?
him.
Right. Hope
He's
so.
probably landing in Boise right now.
Yeah, I'm sure they're up and off the ground, you know.
I think it was an animal.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was cool to watch.
that was
Yeah.
impressive.
And we got some pictures of it. And Jeremy, we hope you're doing better now.
Yes,
Hope
absolutely.
by the time you see
Right.
this, things are better for you.
Absolutely.
Right, definitely. Yep.
Yep. Our
Put a
prayers
comment
with
in
you.
there,
We're
Jeremy,
thinking
on how
about
you're
you.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would love to hear from you.
Yeah.
So this video was one that I was a little bit hesitant to record, but during the events, Jeremy found out that we had a YouTube channel, and he encouraged me to do some recording. He kept telling me I was missing out on content. So this was completely with his consent, and so part of why we wanted to record this is for him so he can see this later, and part of it was to give people ideas on things they can do if you find yourself in a similar situation. All right, thank you.